Hi everyone, I'm Grahtles, and welcome to the 4th episode of the Best Start 2 series. Last time we left off, we sped run through tiers 3 and 4. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. We got a lot of things. We did not really do a lot with it, but we got a lot. We unlocked coal power, vehicle transportation, basic steel, enhanced security, blueprints, logistics 3, advanced steel production, expanded power, and hypertubes. The only thing we touched on was a little bit of basic steel to get us to make some pipes and some beams. And I do have, let's see, I think they're up there. Some pipes so I can make some more fluctuators so we can expand on our MAM so we can have the dimensional depots with more space and more speed. So I did put that in this one right here. I went and got it, but before we do that, we need to work on phase 2 of the space elevator. So let's go ahead and see what we need. So I set up these 3 assemblers to do these next parts, and this one's going to do the smart plating, so we need reinforced plates and rotors. This one, we're going to need modular frames and steel beams to make the versatile framework. And the last thing we're going to need is stators and cable. We are not making stators, so that is something we definitely need to look into doing right now. So, this one only takes 100. These two are going to be taking, well, we need 1,000. So I'm going to go ahead and grab some reinforced plates, some rotors, and let's go ahead and grab some power for this as well. Alright, so these are all now online. And let's go get the first one, which is reinforced plates and rotors. So up in here is the reinforced plates. Right now, we only have 366. That's not going to make 1,000. It's a 1-to-1 ratio. It's okay, though. They're going to continue to make. And we'll take all of those and put them in separate containers behind here. So this is kind of making space elevator parts on the fly. This is what I do quite often. I don't usually set up their own place. But anyway, we're going to put a container after this so it can collect everything. Let's spin this around. Try not to make you too dizzy. There we go. And connect that. So we do have plenty of rotors, it seems like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we probably are much closer with rotors than we are with reinforced plates, but we'll keep our eye on that. So next, we need modular frames, and we also need steel beams, 12-to-1 ratio. We're going to need a lot of steel beams. So I'm going to have to run over to where our steel is being produced. Like I said, it's not a huge steel factory by any means. It's just a little bit of steel and a little bit of pipes and a little bit of beams. That's all that is. So let's go ahead and get the modular frames. So we're probably going to have to up our beam production for sure, without a doubt. So let's go ahead and pop these in here. And I'll be back with the steel beams in a minute. Alright, I am back and I grabbed all the steel beams there were. That is them. And we're going to put a container on this side to grab everything. And we are now making some versatile framework. Now, there's another thing I want to look at. I do have some summer sloops. We're going to throw these in. And this way, we could double it. Now, do we have enough power to speed this up? No. Well, I mean, we're consuming very little compared to the max cons, but still, I mean, this is way over what we're making, honestly. So we're going to have to add some more biofuel. I have not set up coal yet, but that is something I might want to do a little temporary setup to add a little boost to it. But anyway, let's come over to here. Cables and stators. Like I had mentioned, we're not making any stators. But I did collect some from some crash sites, which we could take them and put them in. And let's go grab some cable. Put that in. And at least let's start making that as well. What I'm thinking, summer sloop this as well, and we'll get double the production. So let's go ahead and do that. Now again, we only have to make 100 of these, which is not a big deal. And I should have put that summer sloop in there. There we go. And we're good to go as far as doubling. I'm thinking. Power. Alright. So obviously our max cons is way off the charts. We do have plenty of biomass to keep us up and running for a while. And because we're not consuming too much, it's not terrible. But I think today is a good day to set up a small coal production and up our steel production as well. Because we definitely need more steel beams. Because my goal is to unlock... I'm just going to add a little bit to here. Because I do want to add a couple of more biomass burners. And there we go. I blew a fuse. I knew that was going to happen. It was only a matter of time. So that is why I'm setting up just a few more of these. And that probably had to do a little bit with the summer slooping. Let's go ahead and do this. Grab that. Alright, this might be enough, but I do think we need to add a small setup of coal somewhere. And that is because we need to up our steel production, like I said. So let's do this, let's do this, let's do that, and that. And let's put that away. There we go. And let's add a couple of poles here. Alright, we'll do the same on the other side. And then we'll check out how much we're making at that point. Alright, let's check back in with the power here. Turn it back on. So again, our capacity is only 480. Our max cons is 485. Not a good mix. I think we're going to need another row. Or two. Or two, maybe. I think we'll do one. Because then we're going to see what else we're doing. So let's turn this around. Line it up. Do this one. Same thing. Alright, we'll get these guys online. Let me cut down these trees. I don't want to cut down too many because I do want these trees later on. Well, I did want those trees later on, but it's fine. We just will have less trees. So it's fine. It's not a big deal. Let's do this. Alright, let's see what our max cons are now. 510. No, not max. Capacity. See, I start talking, I don't even know what I'm talking about. 540. I am much more comfortable with that, giving us a little bit of leeway. Now, the one thing I did not do is put a container right here at the end. There we go. Alright, pretty comfortable with all this. And all this. Yep. Alright, we're going to let that go. And we're going to head back to the steel. So I'll see you over there. So I'm just checking before we head over there. Because I know you're probably like, what the hell's going on? I need to see what I'm going to need to make some power and to make some production over there. So far I have quite a bit of stuff in the dimensional depots, but let's go ahead and hit this a second. I'm going to set up a couple of dimensional depots because I don't want to run out of stuff and have to run back here and stuff like that. So let's see, if I do this, what do I need? Fluctuators. Alright, so before I do anything and go anywhere, I have a ton of stuff to make fluctuators. That's what I'm going to do. Then I'll be back. And then we'll talk about what we're going to need when we get over there. So I'm just going to come up here and start those fluctuators. Alright, so we got a ton of fluctuators now, which means we can put dimensional depots on almost everything. I did find a lot of Mercer spheres in between episodes. That's kind of what I do in between episodes, is I try not to do too much, but I do go hunting. So anyway, we could put one on the modular frames. Let's make sure we put in at least a Mark II. Reinforced plates. Another thing, we're definitely going to want a dimensional depot on. I'm going to steal that and put it on here. And I'm just going to do the same thing. So I'm going to do this throughout for the copper sheets, the wire, the cable. So this way, when we're off, we don't run out of anything. Now I can head back comfortably to the steel, and we're going to go ahead and work on making some more efficient steel and some encased steel beams, because that's going to be our next lifts and conveyor belts that we're going to use. They go at 480 instead of the slower ones. We had 60, 120, 270, and now we're going to have 480. That's going to be a huge help. So yeah, let's go ahead over there, and we're also going to look at power. Now, I am going to make a big coal factory up there. But for now, I think I might set up a small coal factory over here and run it back to the base over there for the electricity. Now, I'm not running this over there to start the mega factory just yet. I do want to get some things going on before we start the mega factory. So that is why I'm just going to continue to build the steel here. But it will all be dismissed, and this stuff will start getting ported into over there.
2 hours later.
Alright, so that took me way longer than I thought. I set up some small power. Well, small in the scale of what we're going to build later. Coal power. And I did set up some decent amount of steel. So, let me show you around. So over here, I'm just going to show you the insides of the machines. These are Mark IIs, and they're producing 120 per minute. And then we got another one over there doing exactly the same thing. These guys are taking 30. We overclocked them to 30. Why? Because 120, here we go, 30 divided by 120 is 4. So 3 times 4 is 120, yeah. So that's why we're doing the 30 coal. So that's producing us more. But that's also taking more water. So we're doing 1 water pump over here per 2 coal. And that's 200 per minute. So each of them are getting, I believe 90 and 90 is 180 it's supposed to be. So I just made it 200. I kind of round the numbers off. It gets a little loud over here. So I think I'll put up some pictures for you of the setup. I will take screenshots of the insides of the machine so you know what they're overclocked. So we do have 2 normal nodes of coal that we're working off of. Wow, I just fell. And yeah, and we have 8. So 2 minor 2s on 2 normal coals. We have 8 of the coal power plants. And we have 4 waters. So again, I'll take a picture and I'll put it up now. Alright, so here we are at the temporary steel. So what we're doing here is, I'm in camera mode to make it a little easier. Under here we have 2 normal coal nodes. Wow, why do I say a lot? Because my brain doesn't catch up to where I'm at in speed, I guess. That's what it is. Anyway, Mark II miners, 120 per minute on each node. We also have 1 thing of concrete coming in from a node over there. There was a limestone normal node going into a constructor and bringing concrete over to there to make encased beams. So let's go over here, let's jump out, and this is a pure node of iron. This is overclocked to 270, and the miners down on the bottom are overclocked to 135. So what that's going to do is put it out at 270 as well. So let's take a look at what we got. Right now we are splitting the coal evenly right here. So the coal has one node into 3, very even, and one coal node into 3, very even. And the iron is getting split into 2, going to 3 over there and 3 over there. Very, very simple. Let me just get in this. Again, I will take a screenshot, and I'll take a screenshot of the insides of the machines so you'll have the exact numbers. But anyway, this is what's going on here. So those are foundries. The foundries smelt at 45 per minute. Each one. It's very even, which is nice. 45 times 6 is 270, which is perfect because that's all the belts can handle right now. Now, if you don't know the math and you need a calculator, you could press N on your keyboard, and 45 times 6 equals 270. There you go. You could divide stuff, and you can also look stuff up. So like ramps, it'll tell you what you need. If I go in here and I want a recipe, I can do, say, encased beams. All right? So there we go. We click that. Tells us exactly what we need to make the recipe. So N is super important. It's great. So anyway, we are merging all of these guys down the line and then collecting them on the other side and splitting them off to machines. So right now, we are splitting them off to 3 beams and 3 pipes. So over in here, the beams take 60 per minute, and we have 3 of those. 3 times 6 is 180, or 18, so 180. And then we had 90 left over from the 270 to make 3 of these, and these only take 30 per minute to make the pipes. Now, we are going to need a lot more beams than we are pipes at this moment in time, or at least going forward. But right now, this is the way I decided to split it. We have 2 of the beams going in to make encased beams. I am summer slooping this. I'm mixing it with the concrete. There we go. And I am falling off the edge, apparently. Yeah, I'm not paying attention. Let me get back on the ladder. And did I miss the ladder? I missed the ladder. That would not be a first time I missed the ladder, so anyway, jump back up. Yep, assembler. We have the concrete, the beams going into here. I'm doubling this. I have some summer sloops. I do have to go hunting, but for now, this will work for me. So I'm just doing that. So this way we get some encased beams. We're also sending it to the dimensional depot, and we're also collecting in here. This should fill up quite quickly, I really do hope. So once we hit that milestone of Mark IV belts, we'll have a little bit in hand to use. Anyway, we have beams. So they're regular beams and a dimensional depot. And we also have pipes. So we're pretty set up here with our steel and our extra power. And you know what I did not show you is the power. So let me show you the power. So 1200, that's what we're producing off the coal. And then the rest is biomass, the 550, 540, 540. And right now our max cons are 1160. Not terrible. We're only consuming 600 about, so it's not too terrible. But anyway, let's go back to the hub. I'm still waiting for those space elevator parts to be finished, and I'll show you a couple of other things before we finish the space elevator. Alright, so now that we got a lot of setup getting ready to go, I want to create an obelisk detonator so we could blow up some of the poisonous stuff. So you need to make the object scanner, some beams, and some cable, and you can make a detonator. There we go. And I have some black powder. Now I can make some obelisks, so I'm going to do that. Alright, there we go. We got 35. Not too bad. We got to get some more sulfur. So anyway, you're going to press tab, and you're going to put the detonator in your hand, and we have the obelisk here in our inventory. So let's go find a spot that we're going to blow up. So over here is close to where I want to start building some stuff. So we're going to head up there. So I did make this platform because I was kind of scoping out where I want to start moving stuff to start our mega factories. And this seemed like a good place to start. Alright. So now, you don't want to get too close, but you also don't want to miss, because I miss a lot. Let's aim high. I think that's close enough. We hit it. There you go. You can blow it up. So what you're going to do is left click on your mouse, and then aim, and then left click and hold, and then throwing, and I missed, and it didn't work. That happens. So try it again. That was much better. There we go. So I did want to mention, not only can you blow up the gas, whatever they are, the green gas, you can also blow up certain rocks. So like this one, now I can lay a foundation there without it being in the way. So yeah, you can blow up certain rocks, mushrooms, all different things, trees, grass, a whole bunch of stuff, just using your detonator. So it does come in handy quite a bit. Alright, next we are going to go into mycelia and get a gas mask. It's one of those things that it's good to have, you know? So we're going to go grab that. We unlocked it. So now we can make one. So now what we're going to have to do is make some gas filters. So we have coal, and we have fabric, and we have steel plates. So let's go make a ton of those. Alright, so how do we use it? Let's open up tab. This will go on your head. So now, as long as you have these gas filters, when you walk through the poisonous gas and stuff like that, it's not going to affect you. And of course we just blew up gas, but here we are. I knew there was gas over here. So anyway, you can come in here, grab that slug there, and you see how it's getting less and less for your gas filter. So that's where you're going to start to lose it as soon as you get into the gas, obviously. And yeah, you'll have to keep making some more gas filters. Alright, so let's see what we could do in the MAM. So I have the alien technology and this power augmenter. We need one of our summer sloops here. So we could do that. Start research. Alright. And that we can't do until later. Alright, so the power augmenter. How does that work? Let's see if I can set one up over here. By the way, our space elevator parts for this is complete. And I took away the storage. This is almost complete. We just got to fill up that one. And over here, smart plating. We still have to fill up all these spots to 4 here. So let's take a look at the augmenter. So here is the augmenter. Need some fluctuators and 10 of the summer sloops. So it takes quite a bit of summer sloops. So we're gonna have to do a lot more hunting and stuff like that because we don't have enough. But once we do that, we can kind of add to power, which is kind of good. We also have battery packs. I don't know if we have them unlocked yet. We do. We have power storage. So we can actually make like these, and they would store some power for us as backup storage, which is kind of good. All right, so I just took a look, and we are Oh my god, we are full. So we're gonna go ahead and pick up our space elevator parts and go send them off. So I have an empty container here. I'm gonna store all my stuff. Let's delete that, and delete that, and delete this, and this, and this. And then we can delete this. Oh, there's a little belt there. And this, and I actually left whoops. Hey, did I disconnect? No, I didn't disconnect anything. All right, I got nervous there for a second. So anyway, I left a crate here because I have too much stuff, but that's fine. We're gonna come back. We'll pick up, like, we have, oh, you know what? We have way too much smart plating. We could put some of that away. Let's do that. Right here, 1, 2, there we go, 3. We'll pick up the automated wiring. Let's grab this and this. All right, let's go ship this off. I think we have everything. If not, I'm gonna have to go back and look in that dismantled crate. It should be fine though, so let's go ahead. Whoa, I flew. All right, so all of that, and all of that. Let's ship this off. I can't believe we're done with phase 2 already. I mean, speedrunning tiers 3 and 4, that wasn't too hard actually. That could be the hardest part, but it really isn't. As long as you're making the things you need, it goes quite quickly. So that really helped us out in episode 3, is just speedrunning all that stuff. So there we go. That shipped off. It's gonna get pushed up there. I could pick up that dismantled crate. And we just opened up phase 3, tiers 5 and 6. Let's go ahead and take all. And there we go. It's pretty cool, isn't it? I like the way it builds the stuff all the way around. Kind of just like to take a peek every time it gets stuff added to it. Because I think it looks really cool. But anyway, enough looking at that. Let's go check out our milestones that we get now. Alright, we're gonna pop in here. We have a jetpack soon. Woohoo! We got oil processing. We didn't even set up coal yet. Logistics 4. That's the one I'm looking for. Anyway, fluid packaging, petroleum power. Petroleum. Yes, that's right. Industrial manufacturing, trains. Yes, that's what we're gonna need. Signal railing, stuff like that. Pipeline engineering, Mark II pipes, Mark II blueprints, everything we need. All right, and there's something I want to do really quickly before we get off. All right, I'm going to open up blueprints. It doesn't matter what I put in here, but I have a couple of things that I want to bring over from stuff I blueprinted in other worlds that I practiced with that I would like to bring into this world. One of them is some kind of tunnel that has a train, it has hypertubes, and it has belts. And I want to import it into this world, but I can't unless I make a blueprint. Now, it doesn't have to be a blueprint of anything crazy, just, you know, I could set down a constructor. Let's do that. Like that. And I'm just going to blueprint this and say constructor. So now it'll make a folder for me that I can import those other blueprints into this world. So now that I have that file, I can import them and delete this one if I want to. So that's probably what we will do, because obviously that didn't do anything for us. And yeah, that's a nice little tip in case you have other blueprints in other worlds that you want to bring in. And that's going to end our episode. We did complete phase 2. We set up temporary coal power. We set up temporary steel power. But I feel like from here on out, we're going to start really pushing forward. We're going to do a massive coal production. We're going to start dealing with trains, which is going to be great, because we're going to start importing all those nodes over to here to make our big mega factory. So yeah, that's gonna be the end of the episode. Thank you for watching, and if you did enjoy, like, subscribe, comment, share, and I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.